Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about vocabulary words that you're going to be learning this week. The vocabulary words we're going to focus on this week contain Latin roots or Greek roots. And we're going to talk about what these Latin roots and Greek root parts mean, because this will help you when you are reading a difficult passage. It can help you try and figure out what some of those difficult vocabulary words are referring to. Looking across line 1, the words are locate, allocate, dislocate, and relocate. As I read each of those words, I noticed that they all had this part, L-O-C, inside the word. L-O-C simply means place. Go ahead and write that down beside number 1 on your sheet. When I look at line 2, I don't see LOC anywhere in those words. The words in line 2 read deflect, reflect, reflector, and deflectable. What did you hear or see in each of these words? The words in line 2 contain the Latin root fleck. Fleck simply means bend. Fill this in beside line 2. Let's look at line 3. Line 3 words are cycle, cyclone, bicycle, and recycle. What do all of these words have in common? I notice in line 3, all of these words contain a Greek root. They contain the Greek root cycle. Cycle means circle. Let's look at the last line. The last line reads microphone, megaphone, homophone, and symphony. What did you see in common with all of these words? Each of these words contain another Greek root, and this one is phone. Phone simply means sound. Fill this in beside number 4 on your vocabulary sheet. So now that we know what each of these parts mean, let's talk about the vocabulary words. Locate simply means you're going to find. You're trying to find the place that you put it in, or you're trying to find a specific place. Allocate means that it has been set aside, it has been placed aside for a specific reason or maybe a specific purpose. For example, in our classroom, I have allocated each of you a basket. That basket has been set aside, placed aside specifically for you to put your folder, to put your notebooks, to put your workbook in. So when you allocate something, you set it aside, place it aside for a specific reason. Dislocate simply means it is out of place. Looking at this x-ray, it's very easy to see this person's finger is definitely not in its correct place. Relocate simply means it's going to locate again. This can happen sometimes when people get a new job. Their job might require them to relocate. It's going to require them to maybe move to a new city or a new town. So if you have been relocated, you are going to have to locate or find a new place to live. Line 2 starts with the part fleck. In the first vocabulary word, deflect, deflect means to bend or turn aside from. Typically, when we use the word deflect, we're referring to maybe trying to bend or turn a conversation away from a topic that I don't want to talk about. Or maybe sometimes I might be trying to bend or turn the attention away from me and put it on someone else. Reflect means it's going to bend back. Reflectors are going to be an object, something that will bend back. So when we think about light, we know that a mirror is going to reflect. It's going to bend light back and allow us to see. You have reflectors on bicycles. This is an object, something you put on a bike that will bounce that light, bend it back to our eyes, making it a little easier for people to see that bicycle. Something that is deflectable, that means it's able to bend. Line 3 has the part cycle in it. And when we talk about a cycle, we're just talking about a series of events that can happen over and over and over again. You can see in the picture an example of the water cycle, how water can fall as precipitation from clouds, and then how after the precipitation from the clouds falls, how it can evaporate, and how it can cycle back up into the atmosphere again and again and again. Cyclone is going to be a storm. This is going to be a storm that spins in a circle. You can see that circular pattern in the picture of the hurricane. We all know what a bicycle is. A bicycle is going to have 2 wheels. And what do those 2 wheels do? They spin in a circle. Recycle is another word that we're all familiar with. When you recycle something, that just means you're going to use it again. What are some things that we can recycle? We can recycle paper. We can recycle all kinds of cardboard. We can recycle aluminum cans. These are things that we can use again and again and again. The last line has the part phone in it. A microphone is simply a device that's used to make small sounds much louder. A megaphone is another device. This is shaped like a cone, and it's going to help take a small sound and produce it into a much louder sound. Homophone is going to be a word that sounds just like another word, but those words have different meanings. So for example, we can have a sweet, like a piece of candy, spelled S-W-E-E-T, or we can have a suite talking about a hotel suite, spelled S-U-I-T-E. They sound exactly the same, but they have different meanings. And you can see some other examples of homophones: flower and sail. And then the last word that you have on your chart is symphony. Symphony is going to be music that's performed by many different musicians, all playing together, making those beautiful sounds at the same time. Okay, let's look at number 5. What word has a prefix that means small or tiny? This word would be microphone. A microphone is going to take a small sound and make it much louder, allowing us to hear. Number 6, what word has a prefix that means again? This word would be relocate. Remember, when you relocate, that means that you are going to locate to a new place, move to a new place again. Number 7, what word has a prefix that means two? This would be the word bicycle. A bicycle is going to have 2 wheels. The last one, number 8, is a little tricky. What does the word cacophony mean? We haven't talked about this word. It's not on my chart, but I do know that it contains the part phone in this word, so this has to do with sounds somehow. A cacophony is going to be a mixture of a lot of loud, really harsh sounds. So you can imagine if there was a whole bunch of dogs that started barking all at one time, or if you heard a whole bunch of ambulances and fire trucks and police cars driving down the road with their sirens going all at one time. That would be a mixture of a lot of loud, harsh sounds. So we can write down cacophony means a loud, harsh sound. Once you have filled in the first 8 questions on your vocabulary sheet, you can put this in your classwork folder for us to work on some more tomorrow.